Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Saturday, October 5th, 2024, and today the topic is sketching more thumbnails, but I might call it something else. So before we begin, I made videos from September 27th, so about last week, called Placing Characters into Scenes, where just from imagination, putting different characters into these thumbnails. And then I took this one and developed it, which was the next day, the next video after these. And then I came up with this, which you can check out. And this is the sketchbook that I just finished. However, there are like things I can fill in, like the space here. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and just kind of keep working on it. But someone commented that they wanted or asked if I would do more of this kind of thing, so I said that I could, so that's what we'll do. And there's a lot of ideas that are coming to me. Once you kind of have this, then you can, for example, just want to fill like the sketchbook, the page here, the empty spaces. So one thing is you can just go off of what you've already drawn. So like right here, I might just, again, this is just what started from imagination, but now I'm just going to use the ideas that I came up with to keep going with it. So I might just sketch something real quick. So when you're sketching from imagination, and also when you're doing thumbnails, the main thing is to be like loose about it and have fun with it, and not feel like you have to kind of do this part where you're trying to do a tight drawing. So see if you can come up with interesting compositions. So for example, you could continue with sort of the same theme. So if I come up with this, like I already have some ideas. So maybe because of the shadow here, I'll just put a window. Like that, and just to get some ideas going. And then there could even be a table with items, so stuff like that. And so it's a form of brainstorming. So yeah, that's a good way to kind of get things going. And then you can just use this as an idea for a bigger picture. But you can play around with ways of sketching, also lighting. So this is a way to develop your own style and your own ideas. So kind of like that. And so this is partly from the ideas I already came up with, and also just to fill this blank space. And usually what happens is once you get kind of this far, then you might have another idea like that. And just keep sketching. I'm running out of ink, I think. Like that. So it can be pretty fun and interesting, and it's a way to fill this space right here without really having like a preconceived notion like what I'm gonna sketch. I'm gonna say that that's about 5 minutes, but let me start a timer. Okay. So now that we filled that spot, let's move over to here. Okay. So over here, I might just decide to draw a box here. I might just do that to begin with. Draw some boxes down the side here. So I'll just go off of this, and for this one I have this idea where I'll just use this thumbnail, but what if I kind of focus on the ship and start to just make up some stuff, like zoom in and play around with shapes and shading. So this way you're also designing so it's like a thumbnail, but you're also designing the ship at the same time, like this. So you're just kind of giving it more detail, and you can still keep it like a thumbnail, but you'll find that you can develop ideas, you can develop style. See, just play around with the scale of it. And so now you've created another scene just by doing this. Yeah. You can sort of just see if you can create something interesting. Play around with the values. This is like a lot of the old school sci-fi stuff, like John Berkey, I think that's his name, Berkey, and John Harris. So that's one thing you could do. Another could be just play with perspective. So one trick with perspective is you can use the border as like so I think like if you go like this and like this, I'm not sure, I'm just gonna play around with it. And then if you divide that in half maybe. Well, if nothing else, you'll come up with some kind of shape. I thought I had some kind of idea. Well, this is another way of coming up with something. You could just see. But you kind of have to have like I think the courage to just sketch. Or yeah, just see what you come up with. I honestly have no idea. So that's 5 minutes. We'll start another one. You could play around with values. And it's really about trusting your imagination. I mean, if nothing else, this could be a stained glass window. Which is not a bad idea, actually. I mean, it's not a bad shape. So sometimes you just get this kind of thing, abstract art, which isn't bad. Don't sweat it. Because sometimes, like, since I'm doing a fantasy story, I need like motifs, medieval style motifs, and instead of just copying something, like this is that's a motif that kind of implies some kind of idea, design. I'm gonna leave that. There's no character in it. Well, this video isn't necessarily like having to have the character. The main thing is just sketching, like kind of showing up to sketch is the main thing. And then sometimes the idea is more towards this. This is kind of interesting to me. Another thing could be see if like you could sketch without a lot of like construction lines. Sometimes that could be good. So for example, I kind of had issues with this character here, so I might just want to kind of just work on it, like see what I would, or just develop, use it as a reference basically. So you can practice different things like drawing hair. And then since you have like the character, maybe just play around with designs. Alright, that's 5 minutes. So yeah, partly this is to just get the daily sketching done, but also to fill the sketchbook page. And sometimes you don't really realize like a good sketch until later, because you're still like invested in it, like thinking about it analytically, like not objective, in other words. Gonna do 3 boxes to keep it even, balanced. Over here I did like this, oops, like that, kind of like modern, but it kind of looks like cyberpunk. So I might just have a character, cyberpunk character. So again, just going off of, and then also playing around with the perspective. So you could have a person right here. And just seeing what you can come up with. Some kind of Blade Runner thing. But yeah, the main thing is don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. At least at this stage. What else? Over here, I had like a Western kind of thing, which is not something I usually draw, but I have this quest to draw horses, so I'm just gonna see what I can do. I'm going to believe it's something like this. I know it has hair. And it has like pointy ears. And then it's got a long face. And the eyes are like that maybe. They're always kind of, and then it's got like some musculature here. And then this jaw muscle. And then I guess this is like a Western horse, so it's gotta have this stuff, the bit, and then it has to have a nose. It's kind of like that. And doesn't this go like this? But anyway, these are thumbnails. And then I could be the moon. So that's something there. Finally, well, since all the other ones I kind of based off of what I had already drawn, I know one of the, so that's another 5 minutes. I'll start another one and then wrap this video up. So one of the thumbnails was like random, so I'm just gonna kind of do that a bit, yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes so this one I'm just gonna go off of shapes. This is kind of a Jack Kirby thing, I think, where it's just shapes, like simple shapes. Yeah, sometimes it's not like you can have some really clear idea, but that's okay. This is like Asgard. And then people. When in doubt, just throw some old people in here. So that's going to be our drawing session or sketching session for today. And before I sign off, thanks for joining me and supporting the channel. And until next time, keep on sketching.